forget about that. I'm glad to see you smiling. What did you think? It was a bit of one that got away for you, Noddy?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. We are improving. Last week was one got away as well, in some regards. But I thought we were great last week to a certain level. We were really good today, yeah. I thought we'd come prepared for the game. We're sort of trying to have that mentality, no matter who plays for us, we can turn up and do a job and fight really hard for each other. I said to the players, I thought the first half we were a bit off in understanding what we were trying to achieve. The second half, I thought we understood how to play football and get into a process and get some second phase football and restrict how many metres their backs were making, which gave us a chance to score some tries. We were disallowed 2 tries because of our own discipline, and that was probably the difference in the end. So we were good enough to be in the competition. We were there right to the end. We're improving. We've just got to be really good and be accountable to the discipline side of things, because, you know, you take shortcuts, you don't get to be successful. They're a very good organisation that are entitled to rest their players and do whatever they want. We thought it wasn't respectful, but it got us up, which helped us as well. It's something that you've got to use as a coach about how you get your players up. But also I thought we were in a position where we had the chance to win it. The challenge is now making sure that we don't fall off the cliff a little bit and we compete again next week. We'll get that win eventually.
Sorry, why wasn't it respectful?
As I said, they've been premiers. The guys are playing big minutes. They were the only club that rested their players before the team sheet come out. So obviously my story as a coach is to be a storyteller, and I use that for us during the week. They can do whatever they want, as I said, so I don't want you to make a headline that I'm disrespecting what Penrith are doing. I needed to be able to sell a story to my players about why we can get up this week, and it's my role as a coach is sometimes it's not black and white. Sometimes you need to say some things that create a story and create a reason why we're going to prove people wrong. And that was sort of a bit of a journey I went on this week. And obviously we got a good fight. We got a chance to win a game of football. So as I said, they can do whatever they want. They're entitled to do that with what they've done, their success over the last 2 or 3 years, and the amount of players that have played Origin. But you know, we look at things, or we sort of look at each week about the journey and the challenges and how we're going to get up each week, you know, and build a story. Then we build a game plan, and then we build an opportunity to go from whistle to whistle and see if we're good enough.
Jackson, did you see it that way as well? Resting all those players?
As Noddy said, they've been so good for so long, they're entitled to do whatever they want to do. I wasn't too worried about who was playing. I was just focused on taking on a new challenge. Obviously playing a position that I've never played before, and apart from my lungs nearly falling out my mouth, I actually really enjoyed it today. It was a bit different for me. I like being involved in the game. I was probably touching the ball a bit too much at halfback, trying to worry about everyone else's job as opposed to myself. And then I thought today, just being able to get involved physically got me straight in the game. And then as the game progressed, as Noddy talked about, we got more ruck speed, and I was able to come in the game a lot more. And yeah, I just really enjoyed myself. But as Noddy said, the coaches have to write a narrative every week. It's really hard, especially when you're in a position where we are, to get motivated every week. Losing drains you so much. You end up taking that home, and it doesn't just affect you at work, it affects you at home. So that's Noddy's job and our coaching staff's job to get us up. And I know we didn't really look too much into it as players. We just need to focus on our jobs, and I thought we did it well for a large period of the game, but not long enough to get the win, which is disappointing. You know, as just on the back of what Noddy said, they're a very, very good organisation. No matter who steps in, they don't miss a beat. They play the same way, and they're just super talented all the way through. So I mean, credit to them, but it's certainly one that got away for us. And disappointed to be sitting here again talking about another loss. But the last 2 weeks have been stepping stones, but we need to take that stepping stone and turn it into a victory in the near future, which starts this week, really going into the Cowboys.
It's good that he liked the 13 position and grew into it, because we'll get better at it next week.
Is that how you see it? How did you feel he went at 13 and the 6 and 7?
Yeah, it makes every team in the competition more creative and get better attacking options. As Jacko said, he's played in the middle in England before, and you know, he's a competitive player, so I had no concern of him going to get the full 80 minutes out. I think, as Jacko said, it's different when you train it to playing it. I don't want him to be a front rower. He's not a front rower in our club. He doesn't need to be a front rower. Obviously, at some stages, you've got to do a tough carry, but he's got footwork and skill that he can put people in and around him that gives him one-on-one competition wins. We want him to be a really crafty ball-playing 13 for us, and then be good in the middle defensively, which, as we'd like now to know, that he enjoyed it and he'll get better at the... But it changes. It's hard to say at practice, you know what it's going to be like. You try to do it at practice, and we trained against each other, and we train pretty hard. But until you put in practice into a game, not quite sure. So thought it was successful, and it'll stay.
Not your 5 weeks into this gig, is it only underlining your intention to be a full-time head coach down the track?
I'm not sure, matey, what the intentions will be. I'm loving the job. I've been given an unbelievable opportunity from the West Tigers to be an NRL interim head coach or head coach. I'm learning so much. I'm enjoying the challenges. I see the improvement. I care about the players. I'm a pretty simple person, but and it's probably not bigger than I thought it was going to be. But now I'm in it. I now know what it is and how much work it takes and what you got to do and some of the sacrifices as well. So I'm enjoying it. I won't say I'm not. It's like every day it's a new challenge. What's the new challenge today? How do you handle it, and what do you come up with? I learned very quickly that every word you say gets put in the front page or the back page of a comment. So it's all learning curve, Matty. It's been educational. I'll learn so much more as a person, as myself, but also how to talk to people differently, how to manage. It's not just 25 players I look after. It's like 50 to 60 people in the organisation that you talk to and deal with and have their interests at heart. And if they do their job great, it means we're all going better at making sure that we can win a game of football on the weekend. So trying to create a good culture. We had our premiership winning Harvey Norman women's side come and visit us in the sheds. They had great success yesterday. We had successful in some of our pathway side. We've got a new centre of excellence. I know it's bells and whistles on we get compared to how we go at the NRL. But there's so many good things happening in the organisation. And, they made a decision the other day to put Tim, Benji and Robbie in as the coach for the next 2, 3 and 5 years, effectively. But they made a decision on where the future of the club is. So that's been sorted now as well. So the more good things that keep happening, eventually what we'll be accountable for is what happens on the field, which we always are. But that on the field will get better and better as well. And as I said, the last 2 weeks, we've been better and we've been competitive. To be a successful side, you need to be consistent. And that's what we're asking for, and that's what we're asking the players to do. They train great. As Jacko said, it's hard losing, and it's not a great environment to come and bits and pieces. But these guys train hate. They train great. We just need to know who's in for us, who's fully in, so we can make the club a better club.
Do you know where you'll be next year, Noddy?
No. And that's the funny world of rugby league.
He should be here though, because I said it last week. We get judged on what we do out there on a Saturday, Sunday, Friday, whatever it is. And at the moment, as a first grade squad, we're not going great. It's pretty obvious. But what Noddy's been able to do from the pathways to the Harvey Norman to where we are, he is making the club a better place. And as he said, the people that want to buy in will be here, and the people that are half in won't be here. Essentially, is what we're being told. So, Noddy's been a massive part in the junior success of what we had this year. Harold Matts, SG Ball, teams like that, and then he's brought kids through to first grade and given people an opportunity that are going really well. And he was coaching the Harvey Norman women's team that just won the comp too. So I said it last week, deserves a lot of credit. Just need every single person in the club that's here to buy in, and the club will move forward. But ultimately, we need to start winning our first grade games and transferring our great training into great performances. And it's coming, but coming's not good enough in the NRL. You need to win, and that's what we're chasing, and that's what we need to be accountable for.
Jacko, just with the announcement that just the confirmation around Sheens are taking over, do you notice a difference in the playing group now that there is something certain, and for one thing, you don't get us asking you the same question every week?
Stop asking the same question, you
personally, no, not really. For me, that's all kind of white noise, and as a player, you're only in control of what you can control, and that's turning up to training and giving your best and giving the best you can of yourself, and then coming to the weekend just trying your best to get a result. The other stuff, whether that's the coach, assistant coach, water runner, whoever it is who's getting changed around, that'll get changed around. That's way above our pay grade as players. We just got to turn up and buy into what our coach at the moment is feeding us, and we're accepting what he's given us, and we've become better over the last couple of weeks. So, the coaching stuff's got to be dealt with by people way above where I am. As a playing group, we're solely focused on trying to win and try and get better every week. And as we both just touched on, it's starting to come, but it needs to come a little bit quicker.